Welcome back to another video here on Lake Monster Lures. In this one, I'm going to be making a muskie bait. I don't personally fish for muskie. I've only ever caught one in my entire life. But a friend of mine does, and I am making this lure for him. He has no idea that I'm making this for him. I just, we talk every once in a while, and I think it's totally cool that he likes muskie fishing. So I'm going to give it a shot. So let's just get right into it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for viewing, and let's get going. The wood that I'm using for this build is actually wood that I found near Gull Lake. Or thing that I'm having difficulty with right now is the size. I am so not used to making baits that are this big. Now to get to cutting this wood to that size. Well, I cut it too thin. It will not hold the whole design, so I'm gonna have to free draw it onto here, which is fine. It's fine, but yeah. Looking a little blocky, so obviously these are 90-degree angles or close to anyway. So in order to fix that, I've got to round it out. And the best way that I can explain how to do that is, well, first I'm going to come through and I'm going to make the lines so that way I get a symmetrical taper down to the tail. And the best way to do that was with paper and a pencil. Okay, first things first, you're going to trace the outline. So I'm going to cut this out. Okay, as you can see, I've gone through with the Sharpie to make the center line. I'm going to trace over that now with graphite. And I can then take that graphite and transfer it over to my bait. As you can see, our center line is now on there. And then with that, I can draw in a sketch of what I want one half to be like folded over and trace it onto the other side so it is perfectly symmetrical. Mark that really quick. It bled through onto this side, which is good. But if I flip this, this will be the mirrored side itself because of, how two-dimensional objects work. One side is the opposite of the other. So this should work right here, just doing this. So we'll just have to line up the center line, which is not a problem. Okay, so here's what I mean. So I came over this with graphite, just like we did for the center line on here. We now have it on here, this line. So when I put this over top, line up this as it is to the tail and everything. And now that it's all lined up, I just come in over top, and now this is transferring that graphite line on the back side down to the wood. So we just take it to the bandsaw and cut away. Starting to look more like a lure. All right, this next step makes this thing start to really look like a lure, so I'm excited for that. Yeah. All right, before I go much further into this, there's some flat spots still, and I'm gonna sand that down, but before I do, I don't wanna lose these lines. So I wanted to carve this in, literally cutting away all that you see that is dark here, and the best way to do that, in my opinion, is with a razor blade. As I thought I would, I am going to do a line through. So in order to do a line through, I've got to cut a center line almost halfway through the bait. So I have it set up in the vise with a towel wrapped around it so I don't mar up the sides. And yeah, just gonna get to cutting here. So you have your first loop, which is where your line tie is. Then your first bend, pushing it down and then pinching where it comes out. That tells you how deep it needs to be and where you need to start your next bend, which is right here for me, right here. So I'm gonna come in with these and make that bend. Okay, it is sanded and ready to go. At the last second, I decided to put a rattle inside of it, and what I did is I drilled out this eye a little bit more and then dropped one of those pre-made glass rattles inside. So it does have a bit of a rattle to it now. So when it walks, it'll do that. And I'm gonna get to spraying. That one looks pretty good. Which choice would you go with? Put it in the comments. So for the top coat, I use a UV resin, and I keep it in this Minecraft jar. So the lure turned out pretty good. I like it. Man, it is long, man. It was a bit of a challenge doing that. But yeah, I like the paint job on it. It's red, white, and blue because that's our school colors. I work for an elementary school, and this is going to one of my coworkers. So if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. It means a lot to me. And subscribe. I've got another video coming out real soon. And if you have suggestions for other builds, different type of lures that you would want to see made, or for yourself even, put it down in the comments and maybe we can get something made for you. Thanks a lot, and we will see you next time.